And ready, set, go. Oh, there it is. Excuse me. Haven't really used my voice yet today. Haven't really used my legs either. Let's get going on both and just kind of see where this takes us. There we go. Okay. Ah, there it is. I already feel better. And I was already feeling good. But before we get into things, this is I didn't exactly have an idea for this episode. But I had the idea to get an idea for this episode, and I didn't follow through on that. So this is going to be a placeholder episode, I guess. So what you're looking at is episode 33 of Ride Along with Runman. I'm your host, Runman, a.k.a. Justin, a.k.a. Californian, running in an increasingly temperate week. Over the weekend, things were nice and warm. Yesterday, things leveled out a little bit. Got a little cooler. Today, it's like 1:30 in the afternoon, so we still have some time to build some temperature. But I should already be sweating. I mean, that's what the expectation of my body is. But I'm not. Oh, well, okay. So I'm under direct sunlight now, and it's there, but it's not too bad. Anywho, the reason why I wanted this episode to be special and thought about formulating ideas for it and doing special stuff or whatever was, you know what? I'm actually going to go this way. Yeah, I have an idea about where I want to go with the circuit. This is a thing that becomes as it must in a natural progression. I'm talking about the podcast at large and this episode. It's all the same. You're going to have to excuse me. I just haven't, you know what it is? I have not done Wim Hof today. So, hey, maybe we'll do a breath cast when we get back. I don't think we will, but we might. Episode 33 is supposed to be special because I'm 33 right now. But it's just been a bunch of special episodes. The 30s of this series so far have really rocked my socks off. I'm saying yeah, I'm squeamish. Yeah, I cringe when I play these back. I'm never as funny or smart or as concise. My voice is never as steady and man-like. I'm never as fun as I think I am when I'm just out here because I just feel so good. How could anything not be perfect right now? And so I thought, yeah, episode 33. I'm 33 today. As of this last March. It's a good number. And 32 was a year when we were looking back, going through the old attic, going through the basement. We were tearing the whole floor up, man. We were just in the plumbing of the system of Runman. Before there was a Runman. How long have I been doing this? I don't know. Thank you. And 32 was this mathematical invitation to regression. And I took it. I said, yeah, you kidding me? Let's do it. I spent so much of 31 and 32 just in locked combat with the demons. And then, eventually we get enough hits in where some of the armor comes off. And then you notice beneath the surface of these parts of yourself that you find to be so adversarial, like you got a you in you that's trying to take you the fuck out, man. I encountered this aspect of myself, these aspects of myself. It's not just one, it's many. Endless ways, different ones, various, in which I self-sabotage and go for my own jugular. And I don't need to, but I do, you know? Hey, puppy. Hey, little guy. A little weirdly woolly chihuahua down there. Anyway, so we've been really working. That's all. That's really all. I use these dramatic terms. All we're really doing is working. And I assigned more than full-time work to that. And now we've been doing it for long enough where it feels natural, and it's not so much work anymore. It's just kind of the way that things are. It's good. It's a good thing. Yeah, you know, we've arrived in a good place. I mean, it's just the beginning, really. It really is. So this is the year of my life that I associate with coming to terms and coming to be. Like, if I can end this year of my life, 33, next March, if by next March I'm in a position, a holistic position, where I'm looking eye level, looking at myself eye level and not sideways, and I can hold it, I can hold that gaze and see that I feel like a goddamn 33-year-old and not a child who just happened not to run afoul of too many disasters, but also didn't develop. Like, I'd like to see myself level in that way. I could be so pleased to find myself in that predicament, that position, that sacred honor, as this year continues for me. This one's been a trial and a challenge in unique ways. We all have that. We all have similar things, right? Those times things just seem to come together like, oh yeah, that was a year of note. Well, this is like number 3 for me. Everything in the 30s just really blew up and inflated. Everything did. The things that were ready to metastasize, they metastasized. The cascades that were ready to waterfall their way through my life and create these riptides just to drive me this way and that. Again, we're using dramatic language because the feeling of the journey has been a dramatic one. Even though all that we've really been doing is working. We've been putting in the time. And so now here we are. And so last episode was like the 3rd or 4th long ass run in a row. And it was yesterday. By no means did I end yesterday with the idea that I was going to do this again today, or any kind of a run. But here I am, and that's no guarantee for tomorrow. Because I'm a person. I need to wind up and I need to release. I've been releasing a lot. So the tide will go out and I'll have a chance to rest. And I'll be listening for when that time happens. For when that moment happens. Where I can find some stillness and regroup. I'm kind of doing that now. I've been very gentle on myself in terms of numbers and money and stuff this last few days. And then we did the pod. We did number 32. I got home after doing the Uber Eats thing, and it was a good couple of hours. And yeah, we got through it. I got home and I relaxed, and it was fun. I had myself a nice spicy burrito and some beers. It was a great night. And then this morning, waking up, I had an experience. Am I on Southwest already? Or whatever this is. Let's take a right. I've never really been here doing this on this road. Okay. Well, this is what it's like. What was I saying? Something seemed so important. Oh yeah, I gave myself all this time, right? I gave myself this time. I gave myself an unprecedented amount of time this year to just getting on board with me being me, laying out the floor plan, so the next time we build the temple within, or build into it, and develop it and have a relationship with it, the next time it'll just be a little cleaner and a little bit more functional, more space accessible, different people. Hell, I haven't really been bringing people around my temple, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, I don't exactly know what I mean either. Justin at large, right? Uncensored, shooting the shit. This comes close because on some level I'm not aware of who's listening. I feel like I can be freer in a way, and it's also up to me whether or not this gets released. So I might not publish this. This might not be episode 33. If it turns out that doesn't happen, and I get a chance to wind up and ep33 has a bit more time to percolate, then good. There's ways that can work out really well in that timeline. So it may happen that way. I do plan on publishing. I'm just continuing to publish. Not always. I've kind of got an idea to break my journey up into seasons. So, you know, sometime this summer, I'll probably end season 1. And then you'll see me again in 6 months or a year, somewhere, maybe on the same channel, maybe not, maybe on YouTube, maybe not, maybe still employing the endlessly taxing wing cam, which y'all's position is on right now. My right hand today. Maybe not. It's all dependent on what the podcast wants. I'm giving life and energy to this thing. I'm praying to this God. I know whom not. Planting a seed in farmland that's mysterious to me. Never been down this way. And I'm not doing it alone. So, a great position to be in. It could be that I take all this good juice that I've been riding on this week and apply it to episode 34, which I also want it to be special, because 34 is going to be the next year of my life as well. It's first day of summer, I guess, today. So I've got a while of being 33 ahead of me. I've got a great a great resource of time. Or just the blink of an eye, really. I don't know, I'll tell you when I get there how long it's been in my experience of it. But we have that time to orient ourselves, get comfy, deal with the continuing fallout and the wake from the changes the world has gone through, my world has gone through. I anticipate a great slowing down and chilling out in the fall and winter that are coming. I'm not sure if that's going to be like that. You never know. But I anticipate something like that. So many questions that I don't have an answer to. They'll fall by the correct time sequence, and there will be resolution. I'll know things I don't know now. And of course, since I'm a person, and we're in a constant state of entropic forgetfulness, there will be things that I become blind to in that time that I can see more clearly now, even if I don't acknowledge it or am aware of it. You just have to assume that's the case. You can't juggle all the parts of yourself, even-keeled. Everything's nicely developing in poetic synchronicity together. Or perhaps that is what's happening, but it doesn't look like that. Looks like I take 2 steps forward and then behind me, one more part of me that wasn't in the limelight, didn't have a voice for a while, begins to do what it does. And go after me, like we were talking about earlier. Okay. Yeah, got some dirt in front of me here. I can run on this and stay out of the road until we cross, which is now. And then we hit the buttons and then we go again. Because we're living out an idea. This run's gonna do what this run wants to do. And when it made its wishes known, I listened. We're feeding this thing, we're fanning this flame. To ends we know not what. Feeding the chickens whose eggs we know not what yolks will bear. Juicy golden yolks. Will that be the episode name? I've been really on fire with my episode naming these last few days. Yeah. Whew. And that's just what it is, right? The experience right now is, yes, I am feeling momentum receding. Unprecedented bandwidth temperament stretch after unprecedented bandwidth temperament stretch. That's been these last few days, and I feel the toll. I do feel like there will be a not comatose state, but certainly not a podcasting, yipping, yeehawing, ankle clicking, heel clicking, ravine jumping, Nintendo platformer-esque experience. That'll happen. Probably soon. Probably tomorrow. Maybe today. I don't know. I'll just listen. When it's time, it's time. Today the task is, I can't believe it, but I decided to get up and get out of the house and run. When that happened, I did it. I got the yes and I jumped. Just like we've been jumping. So that's where we're at right now. Next on the docket, we've got work. Maybe a workout. I enjoy working out and setting my status to available on my work app. So it's a win-win. Either I get more reps in, more sets in, or the sets are more long and drawn out because between them are hours of me being in a car serving people. It's really interesting. It's helping me to play to my strengths when it comes to the podcast. And I want to play to my strengths on this podcast. Yeah, we'll cross this way and then cross the other way. I want to be on the right side at some point. So instead of letting things peter out, momentum to ebb, I decided to get out here on a whim, like always, and I'm introspecting out loud. It is a quieter, warm moment, the kind of a feeling that I associate with the odd hours of holidays. Christmas morning, way early before anything starts, if I happen to get up, and I sometimes do. Or way later that evening when everybody's asleep and I'm to my own business and devices, which of course has been 100% the case this last couple of years, at least this last year. It's these moments, these quiet moments, quiet, happy moments. You know, I just came off a podcast. That's kind of why I guess that's a part of the fuel that made me do this. It was this vibe, this energy that I got from these podcasts that I've been listening to. This particular one, I can't believe I stuck with it for so long, but I'm glad I did, was Joe Rogan talking to Annie Letterman, two of my favorite people, hanging out. I love them both. And they love each other. It's like when Joe and Duncan were talking a few days ago. I was like, yes, so good. They're such good friends, and the love is so thick in the air. Better than air. It got so charged. I came to this place where they were talking about ayahuasca and friends passing, and they were just very together. They were just very present and together with each other. To see that was beautiful. Oh yeah, you know, it was a nice little bow. The moment was a nice bow that wrapped my last 24 hours up. Because when I went to bed last night, I was pretty drained. I slept good, I have to say. And I had two dreams. One dream was basically me as a child, completely out of control, terrorized by the agonizingly, torrentially aggressive and unhappy and mean attitude of people around me. Just lost in it, soaking it all in, being a child, not being able to differentiate or discern what was going on. Not being able to find my own legs under me and attend to my own situation and myself and get away. I know why that happened. I knew why that dream happened while it was happening. I woke up, my heart did what my heart does, and stressed. And I felt it. And I put my thumb under it. And just held and rocked and did a little massage, a little self-massage. And after a while, I fell back asleep. But not before a fun Instagram post that I had seen earlier in the day came to me. It was a picture that was probably not supposed to be on Instagram. That somebody posted of a new, I don't know, I think it might be a new generation of a comic of Batman. And the panel was just Batman going down on Catwoman. That's all that it was. You didn't see anything specifically. And it was definitely racy. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was, and in that moment it came to me. And when I fell back asleep, my dreams became, erogenous. It was a great time. In a very carefree way, where I woke up and I thought, okay, cool. So my dreams definitely followed my mental candor. and swung one way, then swung another way. And that's good. Okay. All right. And, it was just we've used this word before on the show, nonplussed. I did look that word up, and it wasn't that rewarding. It was still a little confusing. Nonplussed. I woke up nonplussed instead of aggressively stressed. So that's good. I'll take it. Pivot. We've been pivoting every day on this podcast. I let those moments be complete. And then I went about my morning, but it definitely, there was an edge in the air. There was an alteration to the ambiance internally in my environment. Those are really good moments to pivot and to do things differently. When the energy is weird or tinged by something unknown, it's a really good time to just make something happen. And I thought about journaling. and I probably will journal today. I'll have the time. I did this run, I took that podcast. I wasn't going to... I've been listening to a lot of Joe recently. I wasn't going to do that, but I did. And it took me to this weird place, and now here we are. We've got the time. And later, we're going to keep having the time to keep pivoting and listening. What's going on? What does it want? How can I feed and water and nurture these strange seeds? Another thing is, it's Monday. Monday is kind of a special day for me. Having weekly rhythms has not been my strong suit these last months. So having a thing that I do one day a week has been kind of cool. Kind of anchoring, kind of fun. Time check. We're at 27 minutes and we are on our way back. That's great. Perfect amount of time. We've probably got another 20, 25 before we get home, I think. I don't know. We'll see. The run has spoken. So, it's fasting day. I fast on Mondays. It's a micro fast, it's not a crazy fast. I just don't have breakfast. I don't have lunch. I have dinner at 5 or 6 or 7, sometimes later. Today, my wild hair is telling me maybe today's the day that you try to just keep the stomach empty all day and all night. Sleep, and then have a nice breakfast tomorrow. Oh, the headset's threatening to come off. There we go. Kind of. All right. There we go. Yeah, my ear's a little bent. That's fine. For now. The only question is, are we taking a right or are we going forward? We have to listen. You gotta listen. What's right? Did a lot of thinking, a lot of listening, a lot of feeling today. So again, on its own, playing to my strengths, waiting for the yes. When it's ready, the yes comes, or the no comes. My right hip is talking. Is it saying yes or no? My lungs and throat are talking. I drank a lot last night. I burned my throat on vodka. Whew. Yet still slept very well. Ooh, there's the pinky. Yeah, yeah. I don't have a point to make. We're just having this conversation. We're just developing this relationship. That's all that we're doing. I like to think it's a team effort. Really, it is very selfish. Me just investing all this time in creating this thing. Is art selfish? I think it has to have a selfish component to it. An egotistical component to it. I do think some of what I say is worth saying. Certainly the thing that's happening right now, very much worth happening, and that feeling is not entirely this selfless thing. It's also kind of like a, yeah, push that envelope. Pride. I have pride. The only reason why I would stop running right now is if the well runs dry. Because it's good. Because this is why we gotta watch, man. This is why we gotta watch the roads and be wary. Yeah. So if the well runs dry, then I'll stop. I'll stop talking, or I'll stop whatever. Stop this podcast. Keep running, whatever. Right, that's what I was gonna say, because I got the message. My knees, hips, and ankles are not gonna stop me against all odds. They're doing the same thing that my perineum was doing. And they are outstanding. That's right, I used that word like a verb just now. Yeah, I think it worked out pretty good. Staying in this place with the micro turbulences of my mentality, the spasms of my ego, my self-doubts, the demons we were talking about, everything. Just, going from weathering it to having a conversation and staying in this sweet spot, in this zone, being able to hang in there for days and days. My system's doing what my perineum did. What was that, 2 podcasts ago? We've been jumping, and we just keep having unprecedented symptom-free experience.